What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today a different video. Today I'm gonna show the investment tracking app I built completely on Caffeine AIs, which will be a web app. I will release this publicly once I've got all the kinks worked out, but let's just take a look right here. So first of all, we have dark mode, we have light mode, and I'm going to stick to dark because it's very bright otherwise. I might actually add a gray setting as well. But basically, we have a couple of settings here. This isn't working yet, so you can import custom trading pairs. You can have integrations. We have a dashboard with our total investment value, our total income monthly, or whatever you want to enter here, basically. But I used fictional numbers. But we have a total income and a total cost. We have an unrealized profit and loss from our open positions, which is our assets, which in this case are Bitcoin and NVIDIA. We have income divided into two sections. I can always expand on this, but active jobs, passive income, mortgage, groceries, utilities on the cost side, and obviously you can customize this to however far you want. Basically, we have stocks, we can add funds, we can add crypto, we can add indices, bonds, other. I might simplify this or add a couple more tabs, whichever has the preference, and it updates the live price. And because it's on the back end, this is actually a pretty heavy function, and it took me forever to get it working. And I added the last known price. So once you load this in, once you add an asset, it needs to load that price. That takes a little bit, but once it's loaded in, it always caches the last known price. So it's always showing a value, and all the calculations in the rest of the app work. So let's say we want to add maybe Tesla. And now it's searching Yahoo Finance. So I made it connect to that. So we have Tesla stocks. We want to add the asset. And it takes a little bit. So you can see the price is now loading, and it's showing 0 because it's not loading in, because it's just added. So it's scraping the internet on the back end and trying to determine that value. So we're going to give it a little bit. But let's say we refresh that. Maybe it grabs it right now. So we can see now NVIDIA is up, and it's showing the daily change as well. Let's just give that a little bit more time. But let's say we bought 5 more stocks of NVIDIA, and we paid, I don't know, like $180 for them. We're going to add that. You can add a note as well, an expected return, which was a function I wanted to add, but I wasn't entirely sure of. So I don't know. It's more or less because we can add assets, we can add stocks, but I wanted to have a manual entry, because what I also wanted to do was in the other section, let's say I buy a rental apartment, which is also an asset. So let's say I want to buy a rental apartment, and I want to be able to take a few notes on that. So the current price of that might be, I don't know. Let's say the current price is just 0. Let's just say it's 0, and we're just going to add the asset. Oh, it can't be 0, so let's say it's $100. And obviously you can customize this however you like. And now we see the Tesla prices there as well. So let's add our position in Tesla. We bought 3 stocks for $380 a while back, and let's leave the others blank because we don't have an expected return. We're just holding Tesla for maybe our retirement fund or whatever. So we can now see we hold that. We can view our position. We can close per position. And there's something really cool. I added a trading journal, which summarizes all the stocks. So now we have one position here, and we can add a comment. So we can say long-term DCA. What did I learn? Capitalize on dips during market downturns or something like that. And let's save those notes. So now those are saved. That note is done. And that's that. We can do the same on Bitcoin. We can do the same on NVIDIA. It per buy, we can add those comments or remove those, and it stacks it. So it shows the total quantity. It shows the average buy. We can add comments. We can add notes. We have our open positions and of course our closed positions, which we don't have any yet. We have our costs. I added a mortgage, groceries, utilities. We can add car payments for the amount, I don't know, of $100. It's probably more if you have car payments, but you get the idea. You can add one, you can remove it as well. Similarly for income, so we have some side hustles, which is passive income, and we have our salary, which is an active job, and maybe we can do chores, which is also active work for, I don't know, like $100 a month. We can also add that. So relatively easy, relatively simple. I wanted to keep this more basic at first because it's just mainly for like keeping track of total value in my mind, at least, but I wanted to give everyone the option to also add stocks. Now we have the rental apartment and we want to add a position on that. So let's say we bought one rental apartment. It's gonna mess up with the price. I'm seeing this as I'm doing it right now. So let's just say that the buy price is also 100, but the expected return might be like $500. So if you're going to do this, you should just add the buy price of your apartment, or I should take that column out. I'm not 100% sure how I'm going to do that yet, but let's say first rental apartment, and we add that investment. So now we have a position for rental apartment. We have one unit and we bought at $100. The cost basis is also $100. So it is equal right now, but we have it on note. We have it on file. And obviously this is not a finished product, but I wanted to have that other section where we can just add random investments, which aren't on the open markets. Maybe we invest through some third company or through something else. So it's always easy to have that as well. So for my first real app is what I should say. So now it's also showing up on the asset breakdown, by the way. So I think that's pretty cool. But now we have a global tracking app to basically keep track. Like I don't want this to micromanage every single trade you make, but I'm a big fan of diversifying, and I wanted something to have to basically show my global overview of my assets, of my income, what amount of money I have left every month, what I can invest comfortably and still have some money left over. And this is something I already did, but I had Excel sheet after Excel sheet and I had tracker after tracker. And I figured, like, why live in the past and why not just build this app? So I used Caffeine AI to do this. And so here's the draft. And it's on version 50 or something. So it took quite a while to build this, but I don't know. I like this. So let me know what you guys think, right? If you like this, please feel free to leave a like in the comment and subscribe to the channel, of course. But also, if you're up to that, let me just grab it real quickly. I have a completely free Discord. It is in the description. It is also on the bio of my YouTube page where I speak about everything I do, everything I buy. I posted a sneak peek of this very app in there a couple days ago. So yeah, you can keep track with everything I do. And possibly if you like this app, you can maybe maybe you can get early access to it as well. I haven't figured it out yet, that part yet, how I'm going to roll it out, if I'm going to release it, how I'm going to release it, where I'm going to release it. But the best part is it's a web app, so it should work on iPhone, Android, computer, laptop, tablet, every single thing, every single program that has or device that has a browser, it should work on. So yeah, I wanted to just share this little video. I think this is pretty cool. People been asking me about a Caffeine AI update. So I think this qualifies as one. Considering Caffeine AI itself has also been updated since my original video. It is now 2 versions further along, I think, and there is another version planned, which will simplify the process even further. Because one thing I did notice during building all these versions, whereas a normal chatbot remembers your entire conversation. So if you tell it, I want you to implement this and this tool, Caffeine AI forgets that you asked it that several chats further. So when you reference the chat earlier, it doesn't know it. So I think that's a big drawback, and that's caused a lot of frustration with me. So like I said, I'm on version 50. So it took me 50 versions to get to this point. And I will admit, it was mainly in the asset part to get that live price working, which was a lot more difficult than you'd think, in all honesty. Yeah, it took me a couple of days and 50 versions to get it working up to this point. And you can see even now it's cached. So because it's having a lot of trouble sustaining that active live connection. So that's a downside. But if you click refresh once or twice, the price will come back. But I did manage to keep the price cast, so these assets keep working. And yeah, the unrealized profit and loss doesn't really work at this point right now. I mean, it does work, but I probably entered some data wrong, because I literally just re-entered everything, because my app, this is the draft version, and the draft version doesn't remember your progress. But the live version works with your Google account. So if you just log in with your Gmail, it should track and it should sync across devices. So I tried this with both my computer and my phone and my not laptop but tablet, and it worked on all 3 devices, and it synced the data across them as well. So I think that's already pretty cool, especially for me, because I'm not a developer. Like, I did like a game development class course thing years ago, forgot everything I learned in that. So I am not a developer, and I built this from scratch with the idea of basically making an app out of an Excel sheet that I use. So I think this is very cool. I think this is, I mean, it promises a lot. Like, we can already do this. Imagine if we stick a little bit more time into this. Imagine if let's say I keep developing this, and next week I'm on version 100. The amount of possibilities you have are endless. All right, guys, I wanted to get this video out. I think this qualifies as a good Caffeine AI update, considering that I used the latest version for it. And as you can see, I kept asking it to like fine tune a little bit. And we tried API keys. There are some very frustrated quotes in here as well, because I had nights where I was up to like 2 a.m. trying to refine the version. What I did like is that you can also send screenshots of the app. Let's say you open a draft here. It's not loading right now because I have the main one open, but you can send screenshots like, hey, this is not working. I want this different. I want that edited. And it does recognize screenshots. So you're able to like just point at a function and say, that's not working. And that it recognizes that, and it tries to fix that as well. So is it perfect? No, but is it good? I really think it is good. All right, guys, I'm going to close out this video. Once again, free Discord. Feel free to join that and ask me questions about this. Also, if you like the content I put out, please leave a like and subscribe. You're helping me out massively by doing that, even though I know most people don't do it. But thank you all for the ones that do, and I'll see you on the next video, guys. Have a great week or rest of your weekend.